Hello, this is Brian again. Yeah, I had to cut that clip short because my batteries are about to die on me. So, I've been coming back down. I was talking about the native onion plants that I saw towards the end of the last clip, and I don't like eating onions. I don't like onions to eat. Onion powder, like when you use onion powder to season stuff. Like my favorite chips, Doritos nacho cheese chips, they put onion powder in there. That's fine. I just don't, for some reason, I just never like the texture of it. I'm not trying to dog onion, because honestly, it's a beautiful plant. Those little plants there, those things get little, in the springtime, they get these little flowers on them that are really pretty. And I think they're cool as heck looking. I would be the type who would grow an onion plant just because it's a plant. Yeah, that's my rationalization of it all. I would grow it just because it's a plant and it's a pretty plant. They do get nice. Some of them get really nice looking flowers too. Some of them, it's a type of a monocot, the onion plant. You know, like grass, palms, like grasses, palms. They're monocots, and sometimes the monocots, especially like orchids and stuff like that, get some really interesting flowers. Onions, I mean, obviously their flowers are a lot smaller than an orchid's, but I think they're actually very pleasant looking, and they're nice looking plants. So yeah, I'm just off trail a little bit. Went over to this little rocky outcropping. There was the little knoll. That's right near the little knoll where I was before. It's just the clouds are lifting now, and so it's turning out to be an exquisitely beautiful day. It's nice, and I think it's up in it feels like it's in the 50s now. It's warmed up a little bit, so it's actually very comfortable hiking weather. So yeah, I just wanted to check out this little spot here, the cool little rock pile there. I don't know if that's natural or not. I don't know, but all in all, it's pretty neat looking. Got this big berry Manzanita right here. This one's starting to open up its flowers. One of my previous clips I showed the Manzanita flower buds that were opening. These ones are actually open. If you look in the center, you can see a little dot. That's actually the opening in the flower. And if you look carefully, a lot of Manzanita flowers will have holes on the side of them, because I believe that's from bees chewing holes in them to get to the nectar more easily. Because you kind of have to go through quite a bit to get to the nectar of a Manzanita flower, because look at the shape of it. This is the opening right here. This is the actual natural opening, is at the narrow end of the flower. So that's why these ones you can see a little hole. And this one, the rightmost one, you can actually see a little dot there. That's actually another hole in the flower. But bees and other types of animals will actually chew through the corolla to get to the nectar and pollen in the flower. Yeah, so yeah, this is your typical. This is one of your typical heath family flowers, the bell shape. Madrones, summer holly, mission manzanita, true manzanitas, palo blanco, which is a very narrow endemic around San Diego, like San Diego and extreme northern Baja. They get these kind of flowers too, I believe. But yeah, this is January 24th. You think it's springtime? Well, big berry manzanitas are one of the earliest of the chaparral shrubs to start blooming. This is a very nice round one. There's a lot of dieback on here though, but the tissue that's alive is very much alive. Beautiful brown, medium brown trunks, beautiful shrub. Manzanitas are a lot of people's favorite chaparral shrubs, and the fruits are edible too. Supposed to be edible. I believe all varieties that I know of. In the genus Arctostaflo, you got other plants that have the name Manzanita, like Mission Manzanita, which is Xylococcus bicolor. You won't be able to eat those. You probably won't even be able to chew them, because they are so so hard and woody. That's what xylococcus means. Woody fruit or woody berry. This is a Eastwood Manzanita. See, the big berry over there, the leaves are smooth to the touch. These ones, kind of rough, a little bit rough, a little glandular hairy. That's typical for Eastwood Manzanita. And our subspecies, there are a crank load of subspecies of Arctostaplo glandulosa. Luckily for this area, our subspecies in the Santa Ana and Elsinore mountain range seems to be just Arctostaplo glandulosa subspecies glandulosa. But you got Arctostaplo glandulosa subspecies crassifolia, which is the Del Mar Manzanita. You won't have trouble figuring that out now because it's the only species of Arctostaplos that grows that close to the ocean here in Southern California. Other Manzanitas grow along coastal areas in Central and Northern California, but in Southern California, that's the species of Arctostaplos you're going to find closest to the ocean. And then you got Arctostaplo glandulosa subspecies Cushingiana, I think it's Cushingiana, subspecies Adamsii, subspecies, I think it's Atumescens is I think another subspecies name, subspecies Mollis, subspecies Gabrielensis, which is the San Gabriel Mountains Manzanita, which would make, just like I said, sometimes it's hard to keep up with the insane amount of subspecies of Eastwood Manzanita. Here, the only vouchered subspecies here in the Santa Anas, I believe, is subspecies glandulosa. So if I'm up here, pretty confident I'm just looking at subspecies glandulosa. I mean, there's supposed to be little tiny details that separate the subspecies, that separate other subspecies from your basic subspecies glandulosa. But I'm not too well schooled in that just yet. I think I got a little learning to do with my Manzanitas. You know, pay attention to this one book called Field Guide to the Manzanitas. It's by Michael Kaufman and a couple other authors. That one does a pretty good job of describing the differences between the subspecies. I mean, the best way you're going to be able to do that is by actually taking the time and doing it yourself, with having what you've read fresh in your mind, or bringing the field guide along with you. But there are only roughly 4 species of Arctostaplos found here in the Santa Ana / Elsinore Mountains. We're in the Elsinore Mountains portion right now, as I've mentioned in previous clips. But if you're trying to separate the Manzanitas here in the Santa Anas, it's much easier, and I mean much easier. So if I'm here in the Santa Anas and I'm looking at a Manzanita, chances are once I get up to it, sometimes even before I get up to it, I'll already know what type it is. But the Manzanitas can be very similar to one another in color, shape of leaf, structure, but usually the 4 species of Manzanita found here in the Santa Ana / Elsinore mountain range, well, there might be a 5th one. I'll go into that one last. You get Arctostaplo glauca, the big berry Manzanita. Check my July 14th video, Spotlight on Trees on big berry Manzanita. Well, it's also the shrub that I was just looking at a few minutes ago, for maybe a little more comprehensive talk about that one. So big berry Manzanita is one. Then you got, of course, Eastwood Manzanita, Arctostaplo glandulosa. I have not done a spotlight on that one yet. I want to do one of those very soon, though, because it's one of our shrubs, one of our chaparral shrubs here in the Santa Ana / Elsinore Mountains. If you're really interested in learning about the diversity, that's one plant that you'll come across quite often here in the ranges. You'll come across it through just about all of California, pretty much. Eastwood Manzanita is pretty much everywhere, except at extremely high elevations. And with the exception of Del Mar Manzanita, Also, usually not at extremely low elevations either. Like I believe I've seen the I believe I haven't seen the Eastwood Manzanita below 2,000 feet. Could be wrong. Like I said, except for the Del Mar subspecies, which is found at usually just a couple hundred feet above sea level, right by the ocean. So you got Big Berry, Eastwood Manzanita. Then you got, let's see, I'm having a brain lapse. No, it is 4. It is 4. Because the one I was going to say was the 5th one. I was going to go into detail more later. Is actually the 4th one. It was actually the 4th one. The 3rd one, I've never seen it here yet, and but it's supposed to be found here in the Santa Ana Range, especially over by Indian and Mayhew Canyons. I believe there's supposed to be some vouchers there near Santiago Peak. They might be in should be in fire recovery mode right now because of the holy fire, but pink-backed Manzanita is supposed to be found on that side of the Santa Ana Mountains, just east of Santiago Peak, mostly around 4,000 feet. That's Arctostaflo pringli subspecies Drupacea, and that Manzanita is far more common in the San Jacinto Mountains. In fact, you go to the San Jacinto Mountains, that shrub is everywhere, especially like anywhere between 4,000 and 7,000 feet. That's one of our largest species of Manzanita, along with Big Berry. It's one of our tallest species here in Southern California. And that one you can usually tell by it's kind of has a slightly different branch end structure. It's kind of hard to describe it. I'd have to actually show it to you, and that would be a Spotlight on Trees episode for another time. But it kind of has longer, more vigorous looking twig ends, and the leaves wrap around it kind of densely. And the biggest thing to discern this one is during all seasons except for early spring. It's easy to tell because all of our other species of Manzanitas preform their flower buds the summer and fall before. So plants that preform their buds in, say, September of 2020 will bloom in April of 2021. So the flower buds will preform, then the plant will stop active growth, like plants do for the winter season. And then in the springtime, the buds will expand, get bigger, and then open up. Well, Eastwood Manzanita, Big Berry Manzanita, they do that. They preform their flower buds the summer and fall before. Sometimes up to like 5-6 months before. So you'll see flower buds on them. But pink-backed Manzanita does not do that. That's how you know. Pink-backed Manzanita does not preform its flower buds. So it'll start forming its flower buds right before it's ready to bloom. So if you see a Manzanita like in fall, winter, or summer with no preformed flower buds, chances are very high that you're looking at a pink-backed, unless it's some Manzanita that's not ready to flower yet. Maybe not old enough to flower. But if you're looking at mature shrubs, you can pretty much use that as a good guide to tell pink-backed Manzanita apart. Now, there's another species that is found, I believe, not that far from here, a little further south towards the southwestern part of Riverside and northwestern area of San Diego County, and it's called Rainbow Manzanita, Arctostaflo Rainbowensis. That one I don't have really any experience with either. I might have seen it on the Santa Rosa Plateau in southwestern Riverside County. I might have seen it once, but I'm not 100% sure. I can't say for sure that I've actually seen it. I might have seen a specimen of it along the Punta Mesa Trail, where you start breaking out in some beautiful chaparral. But I think the leaves are a little whiter on it. But then again, I don't really have any experience with it, so that's basically your 4 Manzanitas: Bigberry, Eastwood, Pinkbract, and Rainbow Manzanita. Now, on for another shrub here. Look at this Laurel Sumac growing right out of the rock. Beautiful. Look at this. Beautiful architecture on this Laurel Sumac right here. This is why I like coming to the chaparral. You find some really cool, outspoken specimens. Beautiful. Look at that. Its roots are growing right out of the rock. There's a rock behind it. It seems to be growing sideways out of the rock, but then it curves up and grows upward. But I hope to see a Pinkbract in the Santa Anas one day. Be nice. Be nice to see that one. But I know I've seen the ones you'll see by far, and I mean by far, the most in these mountains are the two that you saw. You could probably see a lot along this trail here: Eastwood and Bigberry. I'd say Eastwood is the most common of them all, though. But here in the southern part of the Santa Anas, you do get a lot of Bigberry too. I don't believe I've seen Bigberry in the northern part yet. I'm not sure what its occurrence frequency is up there. Well, you know, keep eyes out for it when I'm hiking. But here in the central and southern Santa Anas, and especially the Elsinore Mountains, Bigberry Manzanita is very common. So I'm going to go ahead and end this clip, and then I will probably see you down at the bottom, maybe for the last clip.